Building wealth wisely. We started with a 90-minute chunk every single week. And now we're saying, what if you added little tiny things every single day, maybe like 90 seconds worth, that changes the way you think, the way you act, and even shifting from a spending potentially to an investing perspective.
Moving forward with the Dekker team. Moving forward together with the Dekker team.
And we're excited that we've been able to create for you free access to over 700 Life's Inside Track episodes, where we share insider tips, making house home, building wealth wisely through real estate, including this whole investing dialogue and how do we live with our money? How do we make the most of our money in like even 90 seconds extra?
Mm-hmm.
Like take 90 seconds a day.
Well, you know what? Even the decision to spend money, if you took 90 seconds before you pulled out your credit card, before you decided to pull the cash out, before you pulled into the line at Timmy's, before you did whatever spending thing you're thinking of, if you took 90 seconds to pray about it, to say, is this moving me towards my investor mindset or moving me towards my consumer mindset?
And is it building me? I love that. Is it building me the harvest that I want to cultivate? Or is it growing me some weeds?
Yeah, is it planting seeds that I want to harvest or weeds that are going to choke out my financial future and help me remain in the retirement crisis instead of hitting unsubscribe?
Yeah, and maybe you have it all figured out. Maybe you're thriving in this area, but you know a lot of people that aren't. Maybe let us be the bad guy or the person that delivers the news or the information. Give them access to the free Life's Inside Track episodes, or maybe even encourage them to come to the Building Wealth Wisely workshop, and they can bring their youth for free. So you get the whole family involved, because that only takes no extra time actually to include everybody versus include only one or two people in the family.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think of that? So go to dekkerteam.com where you can get access to the July 23rd workshop.
Mm-hmm. Building Wealth Wisely workshop. All right, Yetta. So I think I've heard it over and over. As a man thinketh, so he is.
Mm-hmm.
Several there's scripture on it, all kinds of things.
Mm-hmm. The way you think about, you bring about, like the reality is.
So it starts up here.
It all starts in the mind.
And
so it sounds cheesy sometimes. Like I think we've heard so much like
don't say the word cheesy. It makes me hungry.
Okay. But mindset. And yet we're either going to have a spending-oriented way of perceiving the world, a perspective. Mindset's nothing more than our perspective. How do we come at a thing? And how we come at it changes what we actually say, but it also changes what we actually do. So we're saying, how do we help you? How do you help us? I mean, you know our backstory, right? Why we're passionate about this, why we don't stop talking about it, why we continue to talk about it. Do you know our backstory?
I know our backstory.
It really was a lot of different things. We were incredibly dysfunctional when we were younger. We had followed some of the patterns of behavior that we had seen that felt
that's
natural
how you come across it naturally, right?
Yeah.
Is how your parents or those around you or the culture around you looks at spending or saving. And, you may have grown up with a parent that was a saver, but maybe they saved not because they had purpose in it, but maybe because they were fearful and afraid. They were afraid to spend any money. They were afraid to invest money because they were afraid. Maybe you had a parent or two parents that were spenders, loved to live beyond their means. And maybe that's you. Maybe you're living beyond your means. Maybe it's not you. Maybe you said, they lived that way. I saw the train wreck coming. And so now I'm living this way. And that kind of happened with us. With my dad, when he passed away at 72, he still needed to be working because he only had like $40,000 in equity in his house. And his widow had to sell it. And like, it was a mess. No decent life insurance. Because let's face it, life insurance, that's one of the things that might be part of your financial consultation you'll want to do. Book a financial consultation with us, a financial planner, an insurance person, because, you know, insurance got very expensive for him as you get older. Same thing it did for us. Now, the difference is he still needed it to support his spouse and kids and stuff. Whereas we now are self-insured because we have enough assets that when we go, if one of us goes, the other is taken care of, right? And so we don't need expensive insurance at this time.
Right.
And those are the things to consider as you're moving forward. Because let's face it, everybody's getting older, right? A year goes by, everybody got a year older.
And it's not we don't have an infinite amount of time.
That's true.
And so we want to get started to avoid this retirement crisis that is happening in our world. Although there's going to be trillions of dollars transferred from the baby boomers to the next generation, if you don't know how to take care of it, it's going to vanish anyway. Mm-hmm. So learning how to do it, and you don't need a lot to figure out how to do it. That's why we want the kids in the room.
And you know what? Relying on a family inheritance is like almost relying on a lottery. Like, let's leave a legacy. This is something we were talking about earlier, right? The legacy of what you're doing. So in this 90 days, we can really swing things around. Maybe you're ready to do an investment. Maybe you're ready for that consultation with us and decide what kind of investment and what you can do. And do you refinance your mortgage and all this stuff, right? There's a gazillion things
you could do. And they're not all smart to do. Even if they're smart for some to do, they may not be smart for you to do in the season. So this is not a prescription that suits everybody. The only part we know that's a prescription that suits everybody is to be aware of where you are. Take your 90 seconds. Be aware you are financially today. What financial decisions did you make today that either moved you forward or took you back? And before you spend anything, decide for 90 seconds, pray, consider, ponder, is this going to support what I want to grow, what I want to be able to harvest down the road?
Yeah, and I find, you know, consumerism is through a lot of advertising, right? We're bombarded with advertising. Yeah. And that take that time and go, well, is in 30 days, is this going to still improve my life, the money I spent? Or when I get my Visa statement, is it going to decrease my enjoyment of life because I can't pay my Visa card off?
Yeah, you ideally don't want to have limits, or you want to have limits. You don't want to have balances on your credit card. You want to have limits on your spending and not balances on your credit card from month to month.
Yeah. Yeah. And Henry Ford said, you can't build a reputation on what you're going to do. And we're glad you're joining us, because as we look at building wealth wisely, we know that it's about much more than just the money.
Moving forward with the Dekker team. Moving forward together with the Dekker team.